All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Pierce's Wildlife Podcast.
Welcome.
We've had some eventful past couple days.
Yes, we have.
And we have procrastinated this episode.
Yeah, we have.
But we got a lot to talk about.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, to start, by the time this thing releases, it'll be after Thanksgiving. So I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And we're right in the time of Christmas.
Right here.
I mean, this year has flown by.
Yep.
I think we've talked about it earlier in like a past episode or two, but this year literally just shoo,
I mean, dude,
gone.
It has been getting it.
Yes.
That's just crazy.
You know, it's funny because so a lot of this episode, well, some of this episode we'll talk about my Kansas trip, but like I was really looking forward to that for a long time.
Yep.
And we've been looking forward to Texas.
That's right.
We're looking forward to Arkansas.
That's right.
And like they're right here. I'm already back from Kansas and we're getting ready to.
Yep. 2.5 weeks. We'll be in Texas.
Man, I can't wait for Texas.
Mm-hmm. Looking for them big ones.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to Kansas and one thing, or I went to Kansas and one thing that you realize, like, I don't know if anyone's ever flown with a firearm. It's very simple.
It is simple. Nerve-wracking a little bit.
It's a little, yes, I agree with that. It is a little nerve-wracking. But for the people who has considered flying to go hunting out of state instead of driving or whatever, I strongly encourage you because to take the plane, because beforehand, you know, me and you, if we were going hunting out of state or somewhere where we're, you know, it was a poke
driving,
we were driving.
Yeah, we want to protect our stuff.
Yeah, I mean that, and you know, if we were taking a bow hunting trip, you know, we wanted to have a pistol because most people, like we talked with Coleman on here a couple weeks ago, he don't go to a stand without a pistol. I don't generally either.
That's right.
So I just went to Kansas. I guess one reason I wanted to bring up that flying thing is because, you know, they say you need to get to the airport 2 hours early before your flight. I got there 2 hours early with a firearm. So my flight's at 8, I think 8:20 or 8:40 or something like that. And we got there, 6? No, it had to have been right at 8 o'clock because we got there at 6. And I know it was right
there at 6.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I remember walking in the airport, it had just turned 6 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I went and checked in. I checked in my bow that has my pistol in the bow case. I am literally sitting at my terminal with nothing to do at 6:20. Took me 20 minutes to go through checking in a firearm.
It wasn't no hassle at all.
It was nothing.
That's good.
But it's funny because you think, you know, it's, you know, checking in a firearm is going to be this whole procedure and blah, blah, blah. And it's just not.
Right.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Make sure you have the right amount of locks on it. I think every case is different. However many silver holes there are, that's how many locks you're supposed to have. So if your case has 6 holes but 4 are silver, you need to have 4 locks on it, on those silver locks. And I think that's how they judge it.
Yeah, we did that last time. I couldn't remember, but yeah, we'll have to do that this time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I still have my locks.
We need to order some.
Probably
not just to be. Yeah, I mean, they're not expensive.
I got mine back last time. It was missing a lock though.
Mine had a lock that didn't work. Like it, my code wouldn't work.
It wouldn't latch or whatever.
It was crazy.
Yeah, but you're right. It's time. My thing was beforehand I was thinking about some guy just throwing luggage on the back of a plane and just see him grab my rifle and just throwing up. And, you know, that was the kind of thoughts that I had going through. And I'm like, man, that thing's going to be all jacked up by the time we get there. But it wasn't.
Yeah, they were still pretty accurate when we got there.
Those cases are pretty good.
They are.
Insulate them pretty well and put that styrofoam so they don't shake around a lot.
So Kansas was an absolute blast. That was I was very fortunate to get invited to go to that deal. And, you know, we've hunted different states and done different things, but I've really, like, I never expected to really get to go to Kansas other than, like, if we found something or if we got on, you know, somebody's paid hunt type thing. Because I want to hunt different states. I want to hunt different things. I mean, I think as an outdoorsman, I think that's what we all want to do. We want to get different experiences.
They're looking for the opportunity.
Right, exactly. And that whole experience, and you know as well as I do, like me and you have never got the long stick by natural selection.
Yeah.
You know, so we go to Illinois to hunt. It's a great spot and everybody's killing deer. We didn't see one, or we saw one, but it's not close enough, or we go on these duck hunting trips and they're, you know, kind of a bust, you know? So it's just, it was cool to be able to go and to Kansas and expecting, you know, I went Monday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday morning was my expectation to hunt. So I was expecting to hunt all those days and potentially come home eating a tag sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
They're not tasty.
Yeah, they're not good. But it just worked out because I get up there and my second evening hunt, which there were some target bucks on, you know, that we were technically going after, but this one showed up out of nowhere and I didn't know about it. And he came in. I mean, man, he was just an absolute brute. And I've never
better than the target bucks.
Yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
What a blessing.
And these deer in Kansas are just so big. Like their fawns and their yearlings are the size of our 2.5, 3.5-year-olds.
Wow.
And so for that deer to come in and I saw that rack and that body and I was like, oh man, this is an absolute giant. And so I didn't waste any time. Obviously I saw him coming in and I got ready. But that was just such a blessing because I got it all on film and it was my first time out of state. And I was truly going expecting just for the experience,
right?
You know, coming home seriously eating a tag sandwich, but it was all God's favor and, you know, on my life.
That's right.
You know, working out on that. But what was cool was you would not expect Kansas to be a good place to duck hunt. Well, the day before that afternoon, we was all kind of driving around looking at different spots and we found a couple, you know, WMAs and public land and I'm not going to say exactly where we were because I don't want to give away a gold mine here, but I mean, there were ducks, you know, it was really a great situation. But then the next morning we got to wake up and shoot gadwall and widgeon. And that afternoon I got to shoot some pheasant. Man, it was
living that hunter's dream.
Man, it was the hunter's dream. The pheasant hunting was not like you'd imagine. I don't know how to truly pheasant hunt. You know, that I think a lot of people, if you think of pheasant hunting, you're thinking of, you know, probably need a quad height and whatever sorghum or wheat or whatever the fields they have planted. And they have the bird dogs and they run out there, point them, flush them, just like you would a quail. But the way me and my buddy were doing it, we were walking sorghum fields that were taller than we were. And I know that's not a big feat for me, but he's almost 6 foot, you know,
really?
And it's a half a foot taller than him.
Wow.
And we're walking through there and just next thing you know, a flock of them fly out and you got to shoot the rooster because the hens.
That's the part I don't get. Badly, it would be a little tough.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, you can't, when you're shooting at dove, you can't pick out which one's coming across the sky. Or
no, you can't. And if the sun's shining on them and you can't really see the color or they're flying low and you can't really see the long tail, like you are truly shooting in the dark for the most part. So you kind of have to.
So how did you tell?
By the tail.
The long tail.
Yep. And also, too, another thing that they did that I learned.
Are they in the species, are they the prettiest bird, too, kind of like other birds? Most time the male is the prettier bird.
That male is just as colorful as it gets, and that female is just as brown as it gets. But really, one thing that really sets them apart, and me and Brian learned this while we were hunting them, like when the roosters get up and fly, it's almost like like chicken, like a hen chicken's, you know how they get
similar to a guinea.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually,
I've heard them before.
Yeah.
So that's kind of I've always wanted to go.
That's a very good comparison. That when they fly, that's what they kind of sound like, and then you can see the long tail. So you have to you got to think fast and
got to be a pretty good shot.
Yeah, you got to be a good shot because once you think about what it is,
pretty good. So
yeah,
kind of like a good golf game. When you own, you own.
And I was on that week.
Good for you.
But man, it was a blast. But it was cool because I got to talking to some guys on the way home from Kansas, and
It's kind of is this where you told me you met some people that was
Yes.
actually from around where we live?
Yes.
Or done business with us.
Right. And so they look familiar, and I'm like, surely these aren't the same guys that I see in the store every couple weeks getting tire rotations and oil changes. But I guess it could be. So I walk up to him and I'm like, what's your name? You know, knowing like this guy don't like, he's not like somebody who looks like the same next dude.
Okay.
He is very specific to what he looks like. So I knew had to be him.
It wasn't a doppelganger.
He was like, oh, Curry, you know us from the tire store,
Wow,
blah,
that's
blah.
funny.
And he got to telling me that they just got back from a place, and I'm not going to say the name of this one because we're definitely going to book this place, but somewhere in South Dakota. And they pheasant hunted up there and had 10 people, and they killed 30 to 40 a day.
Mm.
And it was just, he said it's incredible. And they ate pheasant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, literally.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to do that.
Well, it'd be fun.
You know, me and Brian
Find out more about it, and then maybe we can give out some information on
right
what to do and how to go about it.
Well, maybe we talk to them people about listening to our podcast, give us a free hunt, then we'll mention it to
We'll
them.
have them on the podcast.
Yeah. But me and Brian's talked a lot about, like, that's one of our bucket list trip is going to South Dakota and shooting ducks in the morning and pheasant in the afternoon. That's always been something we've wanted to do. And so I think that's not far fetched from here. I mean, I think it's right around the corner.
Well, that sounds good. Do they have mule deer out there?
Probably. I would assume.
I'd like to do a little mule deer hunt.
Yeah,
Maybe we
I
could
would
turn
too.
that into a little.
Yeah, I'd like to shoot a mule deer, which I did see a couple in Kansas. So I would assume they're right on that line. I mean,
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking. Like I want more of that knowledge and experience.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, I mean, I just think
some different kind of experiences in our hunting.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which I don't know. I mean, I'm really and we talked about Arkansas a couple days ago. We're kind of prepping for that, and we're going with that DLW Outfitters, and he just messaged me today saying everything looks good, we're good to go, and I'm really excited about that.
I am too.
You know, I mean, he said later season where we're hunting is really good for pintails. I'd love to have a good stud pintail on the wall.
There you go. Me too.
You know,
maybe good Lord will bless us with a couple of them.
That's right.
That'll be a good time.
And Flint's going.
Mm-hmm.
Which, man, that we went to Mississippi last year, and he went last year, and
bless his heart, man.
Bless his heart. Which for Christmas we're gonna get him some new waders, but
yeah, he needs them.
He was wearing Eden's old waders in Mississippi, and we didn't even need them. Like we didn't go in the water. Our buddies with us, they're younger boys. They
were doing the decoys and stuff. So.
And so we didn't even.
But Flint wanted to.
Right. Flint wanted to go in there. I didn't know that thing had a hole in it, and it was freezing. And that joker went off in there, and he was fine until he fell.
Yep.
And I told him, I said,
them waders.
Yep.
And it was
freezing.
Cold.
We had a long walk back.
My word, was it cold.
We had to get him back to the truck. And
wind didn't stop not one second while we were there. The whole time wind.
And I think that was a lot of the reason why we weren't super successful was, man, it was so windy. It was probably hard for them birds
was
to
high.
Yeah.
They were high.
I don't know.
We should have been.
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah, that was a good time though. That was really a fun trip.
Good experience.
Which, speaking of, you mentioned something, different experiences for our hunting. I've mentioned this to a couple people this year, and I've even heard a couple people say this year, that they haven't seen the rut predominantly like they have in the past.
Right.
Would you agree with that this year?
I would agree. They're a little different this year than they have been. But we got a cold snap way early, and honestly, we're in wintertime already, and it's not officially winter yet.
Yeah.
But we've had cold weather for a while now, and I mean, we even got some cold weather in the bow season, which was odd. But I've been seeing them run around here sporadically. Yesterday, I was working out in the yard, and there was putting a barn up, and me and about 7 other guys out here and running tractors and everything else, and I got up. First thing I seen was a buck running across the yard, and he's sniffing around and everything, rubbing trees down in the backyard down between me and the creek. He went off in the woods, and I was like, wow, okay, well, maybe I should be hunting on the back porch this morning.
Right.
And then I walk to the bathroom, turn around, come back. Keep my eyes glued out there all the time anyway. I just love to look outside and down in there. You never know what you might see. And here was a buck come across the creek on the other side and up that big steep bank, and he come trotting over there to about where that other buck was. And I got a mineral block down there, and he walked over there and ate on it for a second and kind of throwed his head around and started rubbing trees all around too.
Dang.
So they didn't run into each other, but one was like a 6-pointer, and I think the other one might have been a small 8-pointer. It wasn't a real big one.
Yeah.
But then he went back across, went down the wood line in there and went back across, went down the creek and stood on the other side over there forever. I tried to show him to your mama and let her see him. She couldn't pick him up. She picked him up one time, but he was decent looking, but it was fun watching him over there. And then I walked around the house for a few more minutes after he done walked off and turned around, and here was another one coming up the creek the other way. So I seen several yesterday. I think yesterday was a good day to be in the woods.
I agree.
But it just didn't work out to where I could go yesterday. But you don't never know. Whenever running around like that, you don't know what you're going to run into or what's going to come out. Because those bucks I've never seen here.
Right.
They're not on our cameras. I think you seen one on this camera from this morning or something. It probably stayed in that patch of woods over there with them does all night. But it was running across. I was actually telling one of them guys, he was out there with me, and I said, look, well, I've been watching deer down here all day, and about that time, as soon as I pointed down there, 4 of them was standing there with me. They looked down there, and here comes that doe come running across the field down there, and that buck right behind her.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome watching that.
That is cool.
Yeah. They were like, man, you called that one?
Yeah.
No, I was just telling you I seen deer. I didn't know they was going to come out.
Deer.
Cue the deer.
Yeah. Let them out of pin 4.
That's so funny. I wish you could do that.
Yeah, really.
I'd fatten them jokers up good. Right. Might get out there and polish on them antlers a little bit.
I know, really.
You know?
That's
so
funny.
Yeah, it was a good time, though, watching them around yesterday. I mean, to me, I could just sit and watch them all day.
Me too.
When there'd have been a monster down there, I'd have probably been down there crawling on my hands and knees trying to get up in them woods somewhere.
Right.
But then they went off, and when he ran off in the woods with that other one, that doe run out to the edge of the creek down there, and she went over there and started chewing on that privet hedge. They love that privet hedge right now.
They love privet hedge.
She stood there for 45 minutes. That bush had to be near about empty by the time she got done.
Golly.
Yeah, but she was eating on it and shaking it, and next thing you know, it didn't see it shaking no more, and she was gone. But she stood there for a long time.
That's wild.
Yep. And some corn and mineral block not far from theirs, but she chose that privet hedge over it.
They love that privet hedge.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this, you can almost take it to the bank, and this is good knowledge for multiple people, whoever's listening to this is maybe new in hunting. If you find privet hedge, set up near it.
Yeah.
98% of the time, I would say you're going to find a scrape up under privet hedge limbs.
I was fixing to say the same thing.
Yep.
I've seen tons of scrapes under there.
Yep. You will always find a scrape.
They'll even bed under it.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, especially if you can find some in some thick grass or some tall grass.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy, let me tell you something. You set up near not near it, because if you find tall grass near privet hedge and scrape, I'm gonna tell you right now, that's probably a buck bed, and you better stay far away from it, because you'll spook them if you hunt it. Where you walk to that spot.
Mm-hmm. I didn't do as much bush hogging back here around the redneck this year, because when I was in there bush hogging our normal areas, normally I try and clear that whole field because it just looked pretty cleared. But there was bedding areas. You could see trails running in there and flat spots where they were laying down in there. I was like, I don't want to cut all this right now. So I never did cut it, but I think it helped out some. I don't know if they ever used it after I cut around it. I don't know if I disturbed. They still may be in there, but
they may be right there.
They may be.
That's the thing about cameras too. I don't think you see everything that's on cameras.
No.
Just like that deer that, I jumped in the bed down the road. I mean, near the duck swamp. I've never seen that deer.
No.
And he's in between both of our cameras.
In between. It's no wonder he hadn't shown up. But then you put a camera back there.
And you see him.
But he's comfortable.
Yep.
He's got a good hiding spot.
He's got food.
Hedge. He's got water.
Yep.
And a nice little bedding spot. And we hardly ever go back there. Yep. The only time we go back there is duck season.
That's right.
Yeah, we got stories about that too. We'll have to tell that later.
That'll be on the next episode. You guys need to listen to the next episode.
Yeah.
The next episode is super funny. We have 2 really unique stories that's going to be told. My brother-in-law Zach's going to join us on that one. It's going to be good.
It'll be good.
But we brought up the rut, and like One thing that really makes me like, I know deep down that the rut has happened because, like, specifically 2 or 3 bucks, you know, on mine and your property, and 1 or 2 over at the racetrack, and maybe that 9-pointer that was here, like, they disappeared.
Right.
Now they could have gotten shot.
Yeah.
But the likelihood of like all 5 of those deer getting shot all about the same time.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm getting at is like, I haven't seen the running in the middle of the day. I haven't seen the fighting, you know, late in the evening, or hearing the fighting, or it's hard to grunt them in, right, you know, around this area. So I don't know. I guess what I'm getting at is like, there are certain things that just makes me feel like the rut has not been super consistent this year.
Right.
And for them to be running, like you said, like even like yesterday.
It was cold. So yesterday they love the cold. I know that it's hard to get out and go hunting when it's really cold, but I'm telling you, that is 100% the best time to go.
Yep.
That makes them, it triggers something inside their senses, and it's like, I got to go.
100%.
And matter of fact, when I killed my buck, it was cold.
It was cold.
And it was full moon. So
that's something to talk about too. Which, would you say your buck was rutting, or would you feel like he was right there at it? I
think he was on a semi-rut. Because he was tearing up some trees around. I'm talking about good-sized trees. And he would walk in, and when he walked in, he'd run off everything around it. So I don't know. I think he was right there. He was getting ready to run. He didn't, I don't remember his tarsal glands being real dark when we got to him. Do you?
No, they weren't.
I think it was just normal.
Because he didn't even really stink.
No, he didn't have no stink to him. He was a little clammy, but not.
Was that early November? I feel like it was a couple days or a week before my birthday.
Yeah.
You just never know.
You never know. But, you know, I just know the cold snaps really make them move.
Yeah. Which, speaking of cold snaps, you know, we haven't had many ducks down in this area in the past couple weeks. Like, we've seen our normal wood ducks, but like the mallards, they really haven't been here. You know, we haven't seen the buffalo heads up in the corner. But like, I guess what I'm getting at is like, this cold snap's about to get some birds here.
I think so.
And this weekend, I think it's going to be the weekend.
You think so?
I do. And especially, we got a big weekend ahead of us. We got Georgia, Alabama,
Ooh-wee.
And the Snowball Derby.
Yeah, congratulations, Georgia, and congratulations, Alabama.
Yeah.
It's on again,
It's
baby.
on again. I know. It's funny.
Somehow or another, it's going to happen. I don't know how it happens, but it's going to happen.
It's so funny. I was telling Eden, I was like, you know, with professional sports, like the likelihood of you, I'm a big percentage guy. You know that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But so the way that my brain works, I like to process everything in percentages. Is what I'm getting at is like today, the Atlanta Falcons and the Jets, right?
Mm-hmm.
They both missed a long field goal.
Yep.
Well, then now you're thinking of, okay, well, if they both missed a long field goal, they're professionals. The percentages of them missing another long field goal is low.
Slim. Mm-hmm.
So now we have Atlanta Falcons field goal kicker up to kick like a 50-yarder or whatever. He makes it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then it comes down to the Jets kicking a 55-yarder, and they had a 52-yarder that they had already missed earlier. I'm like, oh, it's done. I'm like packing up, getting ready to go to the woods because this game's over. They're like, this dude's fixing to make it.
Yeah.
And he sure does. But the point in all that being said is, I told Eden, I said, we're talking about we're either going to play Ole Miss or we're either going to play Alabama. Well, we've already played Ole Miss, and we remember how that went.
Yep.
We beat them.
Yep.
We played Alabama, and we know how that went.
Yep.
They beat us.
That's right.
So the percentage of us losing again to Alabama, I feel like, you know,
knock on some wood,
is lower.
It is.
The fact is I do feel like Ole Miss had a better shot of beating us if they played us again.
Right.
That's just the way that I feel about it.
Well,
so
it could be us and them in the championship.
I agree. Well, we should have been playing them this week.
That's funny, but you know, we've played Texas 3 times now.
Yep.
And their percentages is not doing so good.
Yeah, their percentages are real low.
Yeah, for us to beat them 2 times last year, I was really surprised on that, to be honest with you.
And this year.
I mean, time and time again, it normally shows if they beat you the first time, they don't normally beat you the second time.
That's right.
So I was going into that game really thinking that we was going to lose it, and then we pulled it off, and we was there for that game.
Yep.
That was an awesome
That was
game,
so
baby.
good. And now we're talking about possibly going to this one.
There's a good chance going again.
If we find some deals on one, because they are high right now.
Dude.
Them tickets are high.
I'm sure. That was a good time, though.
I'll tell you one more thing.
If opportunity arises, I'm there.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking, my brother-in-law, Zach, was talking about it earlier. He was like, what do you think? And I was like, dude, I'm telling you right now, I've been to Georgia games. They're fun. But there is nothing like that SEC championship.
Oh, my words. We walked out of there with our heads high, boy.
Well, thank God we won, but
yeah,
just the environment.
The environment alone. You couldn't even hear.
No.
We were screaming at each other beside each other. We were just sitting right beside each other, and we had to scream at each other.
I couldn't hear myself.
So loud.
My throat hurt the next day.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But that's part of it.
I know. It's an incredible thing.
It was.
Real quick before we have to cut this thing off, I think I told you this the other day when we were down in the duck swamp, and me and a buddy of mine came over. I have some sick trees, and I'm not an arborist, obviously, but I just wanted
That's what they call that, an arborist?
An arborist,
okay.
yeah. Which I was actually told that by, I think, Eden, because I was like, how do I
know there's all kind of training in school you can go to for whatever.
I'm just like,
I just never knew what that was called.
My pecan trees are dying, and what do I need to do? How do I need to look for people like
constantly picking limbs up over there?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there's all this anyway. So the point is, I reach out on Facebook, and I'm just like, look, I'm looking for an arborist. I need some guidance. I'd pay someone to come, fix these trees, bring them back to health. Like, what do we need to do? So a buddy of mine reaches out, and he's like, hey, man, I'll come look at them, and we'll see what we can do from there. So he comes over there, and we're out there talking in the yard. And, obviously, me and you being the hunters we are, if we hear birds that is like wild game, we're going to look at them, period.
Can't have it.
Geese or not.
Eyes to the sky all the time.
We've seen 1 million geese in our lifetime, but they're still flying over, so we're going to look.
That's right.
So I look up. Pretty. Right. So I look up as I'm talking to him. He's talking to me, at this point, and I look up, I just kind of glance over, and I see this big formation flying through the field, and I look over and something catches my eye, and I'm like, why is that bird so much lighter and smaller? So I keep looking at him, but I'm kind of like glancing my eyes towards that area, and I'm like, that's not a Canadian goose flying in that formation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting closer, and I'm like, it's getting wider. Wait, its tips of its wings are black.
Yeah.
That's a snow goose.
Oh, cool.
Right here in Griffin, Georgia, dude.
How about
flying in that formation of Canadian geese.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of snow geese in my life. I've seen a lot of speckled bellies. I've never seen one in Georgia. Right here where we are.
And hanging out with Canadian goose.
Yep.
That's kind of strange. I don't know why they don't call them Georgia goose anymore, because we see them around here probably more than they do up there in Canada.
We should call them,
Canada.
You know what they should be changed the name to? The geese of America.
The geese of America. Poop, scoot, and boogie, because I'm telling you, boy, they leave a mess.
They do, man. Oh, man.
Yep.
It was just cool because I've never seen that, which I did have a buddy of mine send me a picture the other day of Griffin First. He sent me a picture of a goose, and he's asked me what it was. And this is even more rare than seeing a snow goose, but I didn't get to see the goose, so I wasn't super, like excited about it or convinced about it. But the point in saying that is he sent me a picture of an Egyptian goose at the Griffin First Assembly.
At church.
Yep.
There's a pile of them up there, too.
Yep.
How about that? Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. Wonder where that thing came from.
Egypt.
Man.
Oh, man.
They don't ever go home once they get here.
Yeah, apparently. It's too long of a
weather's
flight.
nice, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to have to call this one off.
Dadgummit. I hate to go.
I know. But we do have a good one coming up next episode.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Zach's going to come on. We're going to talk a little bit more about Texas, talk a little bit more about Arkansas. A great hunt for him-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And a fun Thanksgiving hunt.
That's right.
So
that's right.
But guys, we appreciate y'all listening. Y'all don't forget to like, share, follow, all that good stuff.
That's right. Thank you.
Yep. And don't forget, it's that time of year.
That's
if
right.
it makes you shake, don't wait, don't hesitate.
Shoot that thing.